Who show is this?
¿Who show is this? ¿De quién es este show? Yo me voy a sentar allí. Yo me voy a sentar allí.
Este es el show de nosotros. ¿Entiendes? El show de nosotros se hace lo que nosotros queramos. That's why I like it. Y señores, yo no he dicho nada. Yo vine aquí y quería hacer una conversación.
¿Dónde la cámara para esconderme? Espérate.
Una cámara, 2 cámaras, 3 cámaras.
Con este moño no se esconde nadie.
No.
It's beautiful energy.
Salud.
Cheers
To the
to the
reunion.
reunion. Over 20 years of knowing each other.
Yes.
Without saying our ages. Cheers, salud. Yo, but
Salud.
talking about
I'm
the music, I feel that was the part I loved the most about going to church. That and also the community. Like, saying what's up to all my peoples and the love.
And the trips. We went to trips at places that were like una cabaña en una montaña.
That's a horror story.
Por una semana or maybe un campamento.
I didn't afford. I was poor.
You were there, right? When we went?
No, I
I didn't sleep for 3 days.
So I didn't go on any of the trips because I was poor.
Wow.
Yeah.
They collected.
Nah, nobody did no collection for me. My mom was too embarrassed to tell anybody that we was poor.
What?
Yeah, so we did the beach,
What?
Sunken Meadows.
That's
You
crazy.
see, that's it. I didn't know.
But I never did.
See?
I think, you know what? I think I got to go to one retreat. My mom was able to send me to one retreat, and it was lit. I had a good time.
We got to perform.
It was like
You were
Boston.
missed, by the way. Because it ain't no party without you.
Hey.
¿Y tú estabas en el grupo de los niños que cantaban y todo eso o no?
No, I was in dance.
Ellos están en la danza solamente.
But I did, no, I always was gravitated to the music. However, I did danza because I also dance, so that came natural to me. But I always was gravitated to the music. I remember I asked Kenneth. For those that don't know, Kenneth, he was one of the OGs at church from the
Our brother.
That's
Right.
How you see, yeah, okay, keep going.
he was one of the OGs. He was there
Yes,
since
for
he was
sure.
5 years old.
Yes, there was little bit the
Yo,
videos.
he was
yeah.
Shout out
little
to
at
Kenneth.
church.
We love you.
Yeah.
Super talented, plays a bunch of instruments like you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I remember talking to him about it, like, yo, I think I want to, get into this. But I never got into it. Like, I never went. You got to practice. You got to
Right.
dedicate. And I wasn't committed at that point.
Mm.
But I will say, the part that I loved the most from church was meeting such dope, beautiful souls. And the music, the music,
Yeah.
there was something special about that place. It just, like, New Year's Eve.
Oof.
Yo,
Diablo.
New Year's
No puedes
Eve.
decir así
Yo,
porque
New
era
Year's
iglesia.
Eve was
Pero es
lit.
verdad, it was
Yo
lit.
I have recordings of some of that stuff.
Stop.
Yeah.
Like VHS, like the tape.
Sí, the tapes.
New Year's
gotta
Eve was
see that.
lit.
Vamos a empezar.
Okay.
Vamos a empezar la entrevista porque esto fue un preámbulo nada más para calentar los motores,
It was-
¿verdad?
yeah,
So, you
I
know.
like that.
Porque tú sabes que yo quería traerte aquí porque quería saber como tu like, timeline de cómo han pasado los sucesos en tu vida.
Oh, your
de cómo-
journey.
Sí, porque mira lo que pasa. Yo sé que a la gente que hace actuación y cosas así como tú, que vamos a conocerte hoy un poco más, como que se cansan de la misma pregunta. ¿Tú te imaginas un actor, una actriz que tiene que promover una película y tiene que ir a 1500 medios de comunicación? Que ¿Cómo fue grabar con este personaje? Wow,
La
¿con
misma
quién tú
pregunta.
quieres grabar? ¿Cuál director te gustaría trabajar? Like, eso debe hartar. Like, you know what I'm saying? They have to do it for every movie that they promote.
Romántico.
You know what I mean? Do you get tired of that?
Absolutely. I feel
Sí.
that you yourself were actually, people don't know this, but you were the one that actually gave me an opportunity and introduced me to the industry itself.
Ve.
And people don't know that. They're not aware of that. And it just started by from the danza to actually, like, I really want to dance. And I remember that I was working at, Rancho Jubilé.
Sí.
This is when you were with Aguacate. People don't know that you
Sí.
actually are the one behind that. And also you were actually the one that gave a lot of opportunities to a lot of groups that I won't mention, but I'll mention one, Del Patio.
Right.
So, yeah.
Sí. Sí.
So me and you have this dynamic. We actually have conversations, deep conversations besides the industry itself. And we go really deep. But
Sí.
going back to that, you were actually the one person that I call and you were like, hey, I'm doing a showcase.
Yeah. I used to do a showcase. Wow.
And it was underground, and it was giving opportunity to a lot of artists to come in and showcase their talent.
Right, and I
And
would invite people from the industry, people that I would know, or
Yes.
connections, so they could see the new talent, and they might get a
Yes.
deal from that or something.
And I
don't know.
remember there's one group, and you were like, hey, they're looking for dancers. I had no idea what I was doing. No
But it
idea.
came naturally
But
to
I
you,
was
right?
like, yeah, I'm a choreographer. No. And
Talk about
mean,
speak it to existence, right?
exactly. I believed it. He believed it. And that's what really it just took. Eso fue lo único que era eso, para yo hacerlo. Y lo hice. Y de ahí, imagínate,
Sí.
se abrieron la
Nunca me-
puerta.
que yo nunca me había sentado a hablar contigo de una manera así como cronológica para ver cómo las cosas que te han pasado, porque hay mucha gente que quieren llegar a hacer cosas que tú has hecho, por ejemplo, trabajar en una serie, estar en un video de un artista,
Yeah.
ser parte de un crew de baile, de bailarines de un artista, todo eso. Y yo sé que hay mucha gente que quieren llegar ahí y tú lo has hecho y quiero como ver cómo lo hiciste. Entonces vamos a empezar desde el principio. Ya tú dijiste que empezamos por ahí,
Por el baile.
por el baile.
El baile.
¿Bailabas ahí?
Ajá,
Que tú estabas ahí cuando ella bailaba.
Right.
Yeah,
Primero,
la danza.
dime quién tú eres para que la gente te conozca también, porque estamos aquí juntos en esta entrevista compartiendo. Y también estábamos ahí en ese momento.
Peace and blessings, worldwide fam. Peace and blessings to all the queens and kings worldwide. This is DJ Verseti reporting live from New Jersey in an undisclosed area. But I'll tell you one thing, this studio is fly.
Getting
I
out of
see,
here.
yeah, I see what you work. Well, that's the shots. I see what you're
think it's the
working
voice.
with, and I love it. Much respect and props to Neldy. I love the spot. Thank you so much for inviting us. Thank you, Sally, for inviting me. For those that don't know me, born and raised in New York City. I'm not only a DJ. Most of the people know me as a DJ. I'm a businesswoman. I'm an entrepreneur. I got my hands on everything, on all things. I have a team of over 160 people that report to me. I am the chief operating officer of the Factory Place. It's a film and music production company. I also advise clients. I advise them on their careers. So it could be someone that's an executive to someone who's an artist, actress, comedian, or all types of clients.
Yes.
It ranges. It's not just one specific industry.
Yes.
I'm a businesswoman. I started in the restaurant business, washing dishes and doing prep work, like the bottom. And I just worked my way up. So I became a restaurateur. Always wanted to be in the entertainment business, but I was poor. I didn't have the money, and I couldn't take that risk. That's why I went into the restaurant business. As soon as I had the money and I was able to invest in myself, that's exactly what I did, and that's how I learned how to DJ. And I do a lot of other things. And as people, look
interesting.
me up, they'll get to see all the different layers. But what's most important to me is being kind, being someone who spreads love everywhere I go, making the world a better place through my gifts, and elevating our human family. That's what matters the most to me.
Yeah.
Everything else is just extra.
Hey, yo, comenzó.
Hey.
Yo, cuando ella empezó era como que yo estaba como en un videojuego,
Telling
bro.
you the
I was like,
voice.
I was in a video game and I was like driving my car and
Oh,
that was
shoot,
the
Vice
station
City,
I was
Grand
on.
Theft
Yeah,
Auto.
like that, you know. Y
That's
no
why I
había
got
música
hot.
and
She
I was like,
talking about tequila. I'm like, the voice.
well, how do you know Sally?
So Sally and I know each other from when we was kids. We grew up together. We were raised in the church.
16.
We went to church together.
Yes.
Well, I met her at church,
Right.
and
Yeah.
we became really, really good friends. It was like sisterhood. Her sister, and then other young ladies that were in the same class, because we went to Sunday school together. We had the same Sunday school teacher.
Yes.
Shout out to Myra.
Oh, yeah,
Claro.
mama.
Cuánta paciencia tenía Mayra.
Right.
Dios
Dios te
mío.
bendiga, Mayra.
Siempre.
I love her.
Wow.
Nah, but
Yeah.
Sally and I feel from all the girls in the group, like we clicked. and it's
We didn't
because
have
we
to even talk.
it's because we
yeah.
just have so much in common.
Yeah.
We're both like love to dance. We got big personalities. we love to talk, and like we don't just talk
we
about.
talk for hours.
We don't just talk about. The thing is, we don't just talk about simple things or like small talk. Like we get into these deep conversations that take us to
Rabbit hole.
yeah. But it's like it's stuff that people should talk about.
And this is what we do.
Yes.
By the way.
Yes.
Like
yes,
I
yes.
love those conversations, and I
Right.
don't have those conversations with everyone because not everyone's able to handle them.
Right.
It's just a certain, I say, selected, chosen few that can handle those kind of conversations.
Yeah, but I feel that church is like an entry level to that. Like if you have been through that process, then you can understand other things if you're open to it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
You can, but you know, you can't keep it in that box. You gotta like really expand the whole thing. To
Like keep an open mind.
right. Like it's
Absolutely.
I
But
love-
it did help us.
I love
Yeah.
connecting
It
the
did help
dots.
us to this day.
Like I love connecting the truth of other beliefs with my
I'm the same
beliefs, like
way,
with
yeah.
what I was raised to believe in. But I don't allow what I was raised to believe in to stop me from having an open mind, if that makes sense.
But
Yeah.
it did stop me a lot from a lot of things, though.
yeah. When you're in there, you have a box. I mean, you have a limit.
Yeah. It really did. It really did mess with me mentally and spiritually as well.
I'm not even gonna front. When I was a teenager, I battled this fear that I had because I was conditioned to believe that if I did certain things, I would be condemned to hell.
You're going to hell.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Yeah.
there was this fear, and the thing is, there was this desire that I had that it came from when I was really little. It wasn't something that happened when I got older. It was like since I was little. I remember I used to like to watch tits and stuff like that.
It's the way she says it, though. Tits. Can I say it? Boobs? Can
Hey.
I, buttocks?
You can say anything.
And it's so cute, though, because the way she
Yo.
just does this, just, you're going back there.
So
Yes.
no, I used to have this fear, like, God, why do I feel this way? I don't want to go to
And then you're
hell.
praying on it.
Right, like God, I don't want to feel like this, but I like it, and I don't, but at the same time, I don't want to go to hell. But those were the kind of things that I battled with as a teenager because of church. So that was the part that I didn't like. Like I loved the community, I loved worshiping, but I didn't like that feeling of uneasiness and fear. And it
Fear.
wasn't until I got older and I said, you know what? I'm just going to live my life how I choose to live it, what feels right to me, what makes me happy, and not care about what others think or say about me. And when I made that change, I felt
But let me ask you a question, though. My question to you is, like, what motivated you? Like, what inspired you to actually make that decision? That you actually looked at yourself in the mirror and, like, you know what? Enough is enough. Like, at what moment? Do you remember that moment itself?
I do, and it was when I was honest with my mother. When I was honest with my mother about this desire that I had and how it wasn't going away and this is who I am. Once my mom knew, I didn't care about what anybody else thought or said about me.
This woman birthed you.
Right. This is the woman that brought me to earth. And so telling her was the hardest part. But once I found the courage to be honest, because, I didn't want to continue living a lie. I didn't feel right. Like, it bothered me living this lie. Like, it was really, really bothering me. And so once I was able to be honest with her and found that courage, it kind of felt like a liberation, like this.
Way over your shoulders.
Yeah,
Like,
this.
off.
I mean, don't get it twisted, because that brought a lot of drama between my mom and I, because she was not first. Her beliefs, her thing was she didn't want me to be going to hell.
Wow.
So imagine.
Right. So
That's-
that
She didn't
was
want you to.
that's the first thing.
And that's what you were dealing with
before that.
Before that, yeah.
So that's the first thing. And then also there's the whole, they're not used to, because at this time, like during this, durante esa época, that wasn't something that was like seen
Que
a
no se
lot.
hablaba.
Right.
And
No se
it wasn't
hablaba.
popular.
Había un par de gente allá
There
en la
was
iglesia también.
Yeah, for sure,
Sí,
for
sí.
sure.
Don't drop no names,
Yeah,
please.
no
Don't drop no
names.
names.
Oye,
But for sure, I got my
Se
gator.
estaba como por
It went
salir
up.
ahí.
no, pero había gente que lo cuidaban porque se sabía, pero por ejemplo,
True.
aún estando ahí, habían sí personas que tenían la mente lo suficientemente abierta para no decirle a esta persona que se va
Claro.
y tú sabes, le van a decir cosas que le van a hacer sentir mal.
But I'm going to tell you
Le
something.
sobrellevaban, como que lo
I'm going to tell you
mantenían ahí.
something. My mom took me to the pastor and she told him about me coming out,
Yeah.
and she asked him to like pray for me. So he said, he kept it real. He said, I could pray for her, but she gonna do what she want to do.
See, this
Yo,
is why.
Ese de los míos.
Right. Yo, my pastor,
Right.
yo, not for
Right.
nothing.
Like he kept it so funky with her.
Like hair in my eyelash.
And you know what?
Ah.
And I respected that. And after that, even though I stopped going on the regular, I still would make appearances. I would make guest appearances at church, and it was always love from everyone. Nobody
I
casted
missed her
me.
so
Yo,
much. I used
Nobody.
to ask for her so much. It's crazy.
Yo, but when I would go, you was already gone.
Yeah, when she went back.
When I went back,
I
you
was
was
gone.
gone. And
Hay waves, como te
and
dije,
I wouldn't
ahí.
see your parents, so I couldn't even ask for you. So that's why we never like reconnected until recently.
We just recently reconnected, by the way.
Wow.
And we're so caught in the same, so we never cross path. And this is why I believe in divine timing.
Sí.
Because a lot of the
Sí, sí.
people
We know
that
the same
I know,
people.
she knows, and a lot of the places that, like, we just in the same
We
in the same
room,
industry,
and we never really like
right? And
crossed
we
each
have
other's
not
path.
crossed paths because we know.
You know what I mean?
You know
Like,
what? You know what it
sounds
is.
like you
Because
have a
it's
rhythm.
like it's one of those.
I
We're
don't
trying
know.
to we're trying to catch up with each other.
It's hard,
and
20
it's
years.
hard. 20 years, but I'm like, oh my god, tell me everything. Like,
Right.
what did you eat today? Shrimp with totones? Like, did you have a fria? Okay.
Yo,
Like, we're on the phone sometimes,
she's-
like for an
yo,
hour. And I'm
she's
like, yo, and I'm
lying.
doing
She
my
be
thing.
talking about all kinds of things. It's not food.
Don't tell us our
I'm not
secrets.
gonna tell him.
I'm telling you. She could
It's
be a
like
stand-up
confidential
comedian
files.
for reals.
I have heard this before.
Okay, so starting.
Wait, so I stopped going to church first, right? No, lies. You stopped going to church first.
No, yo fui
So
el
we should
primero.
go there. Yeah,
You were the first one to stop going to church.
This is the topic.
Porque me metí a ser DJ y fui a los clubs.
You
Entonces
making
ya
that
salía
ching,
muy
ching?
tarde de los clubs y entonces se sentía raro yo saliendo de un club.
And then going to church?
Yeah, because yo tocaba, entonces.
Yo,
una
let me
I
cosa-
know.
tell
I
ya.
used to go to those parties.
Right,
An
entonces-
LD was one of the best. When he was actually in the band for church, that I feel was when
Listen, when he left,
the
it was
worship was the strongest. Like, it was so good.
Ooh, one day I
And
gotta
then
tell you
one
that
day he
story.
just stopped going. I don't know. And then it was just weird. Like, where's an LD?
I felt that it was gradual. Like
It
you
was
know,
like
it was
one Sunday you might
exactly,
you
and
might have
then- and
missed.
then 3 Sundays, and
But
then
then but then it was
No,
just
I don't feel like
but
that.
then it just
No, it
I
was
feel
just
like
like-
you did a Keanu Reeves on
but
us.
then
Like,
it just
you just
Yeah,
like
yo, then it just felt like
you
one
took
moment
the blue pill.
the thing is,
You're out.
right,
I was
from one moment to another he was gone.
I was so invested in that I feel that's so like a big part of my life. It was just that I lived in that building.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, if I was to go back with the knowledge that I have now, right? I could tell you one thing: you were tired.
Yeah, maybe I was tired. Yeah,
Maybe I think
No, you were
are.
tired.
I
Because
didn't
I
realize
didn't
it.
self-conscious. I mean, like, being at that age, you're not like, you know what I'm saying, paying attention like that. I would say we're distracted, right?
Right.
But now, who I am and have become and who I'm becoming as a woman, I could tell you that if I was to go back, I could tell you like you're tired, and I wish I could have. I mean, I'm younger than you as well in a sense. Not that age. It does matter, but you know what? Let me not
where's
go anywhere with this.
No, but I get
But
what
what
you're
I'm saying
saying.
is, I wish I could just kind of like go back and be like, "Hey, are you okay?" You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like,
yes.
because I felt like maybe you just needed that. But then at the
Right.
same time, if I was that child, you would have just said to me like, "No, I'm fine." Just
Yes.
because you are the type of person you kept a lot to yourself.
Being there, I saw, Sally and her sisters and the group that everybody was. There was a dance group, right? And there was like a lot of music around, and everybody wanted to sing. They could sing. But there were also like social things. We go to places or go eat somewhere, something like
the
that.
community.
Go to concerts and stuff like that.
But we never lost touch.
Right.
Me and you. I mean, maybe at a certain point we did.
Yes.
But I do remember us going, like, I was always supportive. Like, when Aguacate was playing, I would show up to Jubilee. They already knew me at the door. Like, I remember that time I was working in a dental office and I was bartending as well. And I was a promotional model, remember?
Yes.
You know, it was for free, but, you know, escalones, the struggle.
Eso es lo que yo quiero que tú me cuentes.
No
yeah,
sleep.
because it's good for the people to know.
No sleep. There was sacrifices.
Yeah,
You know what? Let's take the shot. So.
Vas.
Cheers.
Salud. Por el pasado, presente y
Futuro.
Let's go.
Continuado, señor.
¿Cuál fue la pregunta? I'm joking.
No, you're telling us about your journey and how Neldy was the
Casi
first
me
one to
traigo el
give you.
chicle. Espérate.
Hey, yo.
Señores, estamos conversando con Sally Ferreira. Ella es amiga de nosotros desde chiquitica.
Right.
Una pepecita.
Pero ha estado en muchas series de HBO, ha estado trabajando con muchos artistas. Yo quiero que me diga más o menos, dame 5 artistas que tú has trabajado, para que la gente
De la
vaya
cabeza,
sabiendo.
right away, the
No,
first.
para que la gente vaya sabiendo qué es lo que estamos haciendo aquí, con quién
Sí,
estamos
claro.
hablando, que no con cualquier gente.
Right.
Yo he trabajado, tú sabes, con Kanye West.
Let 'em know.
Oye,
Talk that
ya,
talk.
no, para
Con
que
Kanye
sepan.
West. Voy a tirar ahí
Kanye.
un director que
Oye,
yo pienso que
menciona
tiene.
nombre ahí, tú sabes.
Dale.
Jesse Terrero.
Abra los ojos así.
Jesse Terrero. He trabajado con Aventura. He trabajado con
so
Toby
nasty.
Love. He trabajado con Cool J. He trabajado. ¿Para dónde vamos? Vamos
vamos,
para
vamos,
House Music. Vamos para
Shea
vamos a
Avicii,
hablar.
Thomas,
Avicii.
Carlos Latini.
Espérate. Oye, tú lo mencionas así. Yo te veo en algunas entrevistas y la gente te está preguntando vaina y tú mencionas nombres como que es decir Juanito Palito,
Es que-
vainita y de la esquina,
Que vende
la
queso.
fritura de fulano. Tú estás mencionando.
Plátano.
¿Por qué tú lo haces así? Porque tú tienes, te sientes como que como que no quieres mencionarlo o tú porque lo mencionas rápido siempre. O sea, cuando
Es verdad, yo nunca
Sí,
me...
oye.
como- eso me lo han
I don't
preguntado
see it like
mucho.
that. You know how I
No,
see it?
no.
Like, it's like, well, they're human like me.
Sí, yo entiendo eso. Yo también tengo
Sí,
eso.
sí.
Like, yo he estado
Yo
al lado
pienso-
de gente bacana que tú...
Sí,
chévere
menciónalo,
a
dime
nivel.
tú, dale.
All right. Yeah, Neldy, dale la lista.
Señores, que eso
Los
traba-
cinco,
eso
los
es-
5.
Eso es atrás de la cortina, ¿tú entiendes? Que
Ay,
no puede
ay,
hablar
esa
mucho.
Esa cortina se tiene que
¿entiendes?
abrir pronto.
Right.
No, lo que te digo es que...
Ábrela.
Ábrela.
Tres tragos más y la abrimos. Oye,
Perfecto.
Dame.
Oye, es una apuesta.
sino que
Si no me debe $1.
que a mí me
Mentira.
gustaría que tú lo menciones, paso a paso, con
Sí.
quién tú has trabajado.
And like the
porque es que
journey.
hay mucha gente que no conoce eso. Quizás tú lo sabes, tú lo has hecho. Quizás tú
Sí.
sientes que lo has mencionado muchas veces.
He trabajado con mucha gente que en
Pero-
verdad, sinceramente, se me olvida. I forget. I
Yeah.
tend to forget with the people that my resume is so intense and I don't want to sound, because there's just this part of me that is just like, I don't want to say humble, but it's just like what you were saying. It's just, there was a point I had a moment with an artist. There are artists that I worked with that I want to work with again, that I do see myself working with. Like I said, Kanye.
Yeah.
Like that's someone that, I had an opportunity to work with that is from the top of my head that I felt I connected with that person
As a human.
as a human. And not only that, so when I hear all these things that people are talking, like saying things about him, I'm like,
That's not the person I know, or
like,
connected with.
it is what it is. Who am I to pass judgment? I mean,
Claro.
that's one thing we learn.
Pero one thing that I've learned in the industry es que a veces la gente habla cosas que ni siquiera sabe.
Oye, mi amor, yo aprendí una cosa. Tú vas a ser bien o mal, van a hablar. You do good or bad, they're going to talk
Yeah.
about you. I just
Y
translated
ahora
that.
mismo es necesario que hablen bueno o malo de ti, porque en los
importa.
comentarios el algoritmo no le importa que sea bueno o malo, es que haya un comentario.
Lo más bonito
Así que
que...
comenten aquí abajo si a ustedes no les gusta cómo Sally está vestida.
Oh,
Sally,
wow.
dale párate para que te vean. Porque
Ey,
tú,
me
oye,
quito el
primero
jacket.
muéstrale a la gente qué es lo que tú traes y luego ellos hablan y que
Oh.
hablen en los comentarios.
He
¿verdad?
said the good. Show them the goods.
No, porque
Espérate,
ellos creen-
déjame que me dio
Más
calor,
gris.
yo le estoy diciendo que
Margaris.
estamos hablando con un...
Ey.
Estamos hablando con una vaina.
Hello.
¿Entiendes? La
I'm
gente
gonna try.
tiene que entender.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, I feel like
Dios.
I feel like Sally gotta do some comedies, yo, cause she's like a natural.
Sí.
Yo, she's naturally funny.
Desde siempre, desde
Yo.
siempre. Desde
He'll
siempre.
tell you stories about that.
Sí.
I used to prank call him all the time and say Chinese food come with DVD.
Yo
I mean, I can't go back.
Y
but-
una vez lo hizo que yo todavía tenía un miedo. O sea, todavía el otro día, porque ella me dijo que era ella. Pues me llamó una gente así. You don't know me, but I know you.
Yo, but Sally, why you used to prank call him?
You know what? There's certain people that get that sense of love from me.
Hold up, I ain't got no
Bro,
prank
he
calls.
hunted me for years.
Damn. I mean, we can't do it
Okay.
now, but yeah.
Yo, I
Vamos a
want some
hacer-
prank calls.
But going back to
Vamos a hacerlo por la lista para ir dándole hilo.
Calmadamente.
Sí,
Wait,
entonces-
so you mentioned you work with certain people. You should talk to the people about like how you got those opportunities.
Right.
I don't believe that we should force anything. I'm
I
not gonna
agree.
break that doorknob because you're gonna get injured. I've been there before, and I'm only speaking out of experience. But it's been a journey. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's been 19 years. 19 years.
Suena como una canción de Kanye.
19 years, which is interesting because 19 is my number, date of birth,
There you go,
significance. And we're
19.
talking
September?
about that. Yeah, September 19. There you go.
Sí, empezaste bailando con artistas.
Sí, entonces mi prima,
Ajá.
ella me dijo a mí, vio que me estaba moviendo, en la manera que me estaba moviendo. She was working behind the cameras, and she goes, hey, they're shooting a video for Aventura, Los Infieles. And I got
Shout
excited.
out to Aventura.
Also, shout out to
Let me
Jesse
find
Terrero because he saw something in me at that moment.
Sí.
And which is interesting. I didn't go there thinking I was going to get paid from top. Like, I was like, no, I'm not going to get paid. And I remember, like, being there, and he's like, he saw me. He's like, oh, you're going to be the bartender. So I'm here taking a drink to
Wow.
somebody. And I'm like,
Diantre.
it's like, get it together. This is, you practice this in the mirror. What are you doing? You
Yo,
know? And I'm like,
Aventura ayudó tanta gente, man, que mira, yo antes de estar en la radio y de ser conocido,
Sí.
cuando yo empecé a ir a los clubs y eso, cuando íbamos
Yeah.
y escapaba de
yo
la iglesia,
iba.
yo me gané $100 con Aventura una
Tú me ibas
noche que
con
no
él.
tenía ni uno.
Oh,
$100 cantando la canción Show me and you forget you. Oh, please, mi amor. Oye, yo me fui para mi casa con $100. Yo nunca había visto $100 en Queens.
Cuando el dinero valía también.
$100 en...
$100 was.
Oh my
Tú
God.
comprabas
Hey,
10
oiga, you
10
know,
limones
compra.
por un
Desde
peso.
ese día yo era un
Espérate.
fan de Romeo
Wait, I gotta
Forever.
tell y'all something.
Pero es verdad lo que te digo. Like, go ahead.
No, this is
Yo estaba entregada estaba yo.
No, but it was about Aventura. My second song, the first song that I did in Spanish was a feature with one of the guys from Aventura.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, with Max.
Okay.
So it just shows like, you know, the
Aventura tiene conexión con los tres de nosotros tres.
absolutely.
Y las
Y-
cosas vienen en tres.
Claro. Bueno, continúa. Entonces ahí había un casting para Aventura
So,
y
entonces,
Jessy Terrero te dio la
I didn't go
oportunidad.
to the casting. I
Ajá.
showed up to the music video set.
Vamos, yo
Wait,
estoy
you
aquí.
just showed up?
Showed up.
Pero
My
tú no estás
cousin
bien.
took me.
O sea, estamos hablando, o sea,
My cousin called me. She's like, hey, you know, there's my cousin Arlene. I love you. She took care of me when I was a baby. Anyways, going back to the video set.
I remember you.
Lily. So she basically was like, hey, music video, grab whatever I had, literally, and went. Put my own outfit on, my makeup. That's something that I've
Styled
always
yourself.
done. Styled myself. I've always done this for sets, and still do at times. So I was there. I wasn't expecting to get paid or anything like that. I was like, you know, si me ven en la cámara, me ven. Si no, perfecto. Ya tuve la oportunidad. Estoy aprendiendo. Estoy bien
Claro,
conociendo al
también.
director.
un
Estoy
video de aventura que aún en ese tiempo.
Sí, so
A big
entonces
deal.
básicamente Jesse me dice a mí, tú vas a ser la bartender, you know, como te dije, estaba shaking and shit, pero salió bien.
Sí.
And then afterwards, I'm ready to leave.
Oye,
Just in case I curse. Then afterwards, I'm
estoy
a,
diciendo.
We didn't even smoke.
No.
so and then y yo saqué
Dios
yo no.
mío.
So then I'm in the line. My cousin's like, tiene que en la línea, and I was like, well, line for what? She's like, we're gonna get paid. And I was like, what? We're gonna get paid? I'm like, word, okay.
was
And I got a
hype.
check. I still got that.
You still got the check?
$150.
Sí.
I still got that.
was
And I was
good,
like
that was
looking at
good.
that,
Right,
and I
for
was
your
like,
first time?
Yo.
mind you, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, yo, I could really do this.
You can.
Wow.
And that
you did.
itself, I
Ahí
did.
prendió la vaina. Hay que make-
Oh, y un fogón.
No, relaje,
Un fogón.
habla más.
But yo, talk about. I think it's also important for you to talk about how it wasn't easy, because there's moments where this shit really
wasn't
gets
easy
to
after
you.
that. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
this shit
absolutely.
really gets to you, and you like yo,
You could hurt
have
yourself,
no, you
yeah.
have your moments where you believe in yourself so much, but you're putting in so much work and not really seeing the financial result,
Right.
and so it just brings you to a point like, yo, should I even be doing
I
this
made a
anymore?
lot of mistakes. I made a lot of financial mistakes.
I'll tell the people so they could learn.
I did a lot of financial mistakes where, you
Cuando yo
know.
comienzo mi carrera de actriz, you know, para yo
Oh,
saber.
yeah. I feel like the best investment that you could do is invest in yourself. And don't think about, oh, I got to buy the latest pair of shoes, or I got
Or the
to
latest car.
thing. If you live in with your parents, like, stay there. Help them out. You know, me, myself, I decided to leave. Like, I did that, and I found myself at a young age living by myself, struggling, working 3 jobs, and still trying to pursue a career. Like, that to me was like, my advice is like, yo, make the sacrifice. I mean, like, now if you live in an abusive home, then you need
That's
to
different.
leave. That's
Claro,
different.
no.
But my family was, you know, come from morals, which
Very
helped me
loving.
and led me in love and church, and, you know, taught me so many things that actually conditioned me and helped me to this day. And this is why we're still here, right? Talking.
Right.
But Jesse Torero put me in that video, and then eventually Jesse Torero put me in a very big time video. I like the way she do it, which was with 50. And I was a lead in that, and after that opened the doors for me to do modeling.
Right.
And modeling magazines, Double XL. I did Smooth magazine. I was very specific on what I wanted. I wasn't gonna bend over. If I was gonna do something sexy, I love my body. I love to be naked. That's one of the things that I love. A lot of people
You
don't
take
know.
pride?
I take pride. I feel like the human body shouldn't be looked at as a sexual thing. I think it's something that is gifted to us.
Right.
And we understand, and we're open-minded spiritually, then we understand that there's more than just boobs and tits and
Right.
whatever parts you want to name. And to me, I feel
It's like a work of art.
it is a work of art. And I love being in my own work of art that God created and painting an artwork. Like that's my time where I'm actually painting, and I'm there for 4 hours, 3 hours, and I'm zoned out. That's my peace of mind. But after that,
Then, we get to Aventura. From Aventura to 50 Cent video,
Yeah.
how long was it?
I did Toby Love. Then I was still dancing.
Right, because acuérdate, when was the Extreme video? Was it in the
Well,
thing?
actually, Extreme Video was right after Aventura.
Right, let's put them in a...
Oh,
in a-
damn.
Like
in a-
chronological?
We doing that?
No,
Because I
porque
forget.
eso es lo
No,
que
but
te digo.
thank you.
Yo
The
necesito
timeline.
eso.
Yes,
Porque, Emma,
yeah.
yo necesito que tú busques a alguien que te ponga eso en una edición y te edite toda la parte en que tú has estado en los videos. Y lo
Yeah.
ponga abajo en el vital video y ponga
And you know what's
el
crazy? I'm
pedacito
looking
donde
at
tú
that.
saliste y esa vaina, porque
Nah.
así tú...
And then
You know
it's
what I'm
crazy
saying?
because it's not. You're absolutely right. I did. So the music video, they're not even all there, which is crazy.
That's just some.
That's some of them. But if you see music video G Unit, like the way she do it, 2008, and then 2008, I did Marcy Place,
Sí.
Todo Lo Que Soy, which was, remember, and then right after that did Don Omar.
Tú estabas en el video de
Because
Hasta
Don
Abajo Soy
Hasta
Yo.
Abajo, which is interesting. Don Omar thought I was blonde,
Oh,
so he wanted me to be the lead.
okay.
But because I showed up with a pixie cut and it was black hair, I was in the lead. But at the end of the day, there was a couple of things that happened on set.
Yeah.
And he walked out.
Oh.
And there was a scene where it was for him specifically to perform. And I saw that platform and I was like, that's mine. I'm going to kill it there.
Hey, yo.
And I did.
And you did?
Oh, yeah, girl. You
I
that
can't
was
wait
epic.
to go see the video.
When I danced there,
Hasta Abajo
girl,
Soy Yo, es un clásico.
No, I remember the song, but I want to see the video.
everybody bragged
Exacto, lo que
about
te digo.
it.
Ya, yo
Yeah.
quise todo cuando yo pueda ver la parte donde ella está en cada video.
Esa
Right.
cosa estaba
That'd be
pegada.
nice.
Hasta abajo. And
Sí,
in
la
Dominican
noche tapa
Republic,
un
like even
feeling.
now, people still remember it. Like even the
Sí.
dance moves, but it was all about like it's crazy. People look at the dance move, but I'm thinking about what camera are they using, what lighting.
Are
Are they
you
getting my angles?
are,
Like
are you
Yeah, it's
at
like
this point?
director's mode, right?
what?
Like you go on director mode.
Oh yeah, I want to. I've worked behind the cameras, but you were about to say something.
Where-
Are
what you
you
was about to
balling
say?
at this point in your career?
Am I balling? What type
Yeah.
of balling?
Are
Spiritually
you-
and mentally?
I mean, no sé.
Am I throwing money at the? No, I'm not balling yet.
Tú estás estaba en el video de aventura, estaba en
Oh,
el video
yeah,
de
yeah,
Extreme,
yeah.
estaba en
Yeah,
el video
yeah.
de Toby Lowe, estaba en el video de Marcy Place, estaba en el video de Don Omar. Ya tú has hecho varios trabajos. Ya el que está afuera dice el diablo, pero ya tú estás ranqueada, ya tú tienes una casa. Ya tú,
No, lo que pasa es que la
gente. ¿Sí o no?
Claro, cualquiera piensa eso.
Yeah,
Y haciendo
I
comerciales a
agree.
la misma vez. You thinking like I'm doing commercials at the same time.
Sí.
You know, I'm doing print and all this
and
stuff.
TV shows.
But people don't understand. You got a personal life.
Sí. O
You
sea,
got
You
That's
don't
right.
know what goes behind the
Exacto.
doors. You don't know the sacrifices you're making to actually hold your family together or
para la
try
gente
to
que no
live.
entiende, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
En ese momento que tú estás haciendo todo el trabajo, which is like formando, tú sabes, tu camino hacia donde tú quieres llegar, realmente te están pagando bien o lo mismo que te están pagando tú lo estás gastando porque también tienes que gastar en ti.
Ay, mi amor, había algunas veces que uno ni veía los cheles.
And
Te
I also
llegaba y tú
feel-
decías, tengo que pagar el teléfono.
You know-
o tengo que pagar esto. Tú no lo ves.
I also feel
Tú no lo
like
ves.
you get these gigs and they're really good pay, like a nice chunk of money, but it's not like you're constantly every week getting these same projects to work on. Because if you was getting these projects every week, shit, loaded.
Sí.
But because it's
But I would get so tired though. Like I wouldn't even want to be in front of the camera like that. Like tú me entiendes,
ya
like
tú dices, diantre.
you know, like my whole thing is that as much as I love being in front of the camera, which I love acting, but because I know what I bring to the table and the way I transform myself, I do that naturally and it's fun for me, but I love being behind the cameras and seeing everything come together. And so I pay attention a lot to, like, I'm on set and a lot of people are like, oh, we're doing one more take. And I'm like, no, we're doing 3 more takes. So we're here for 4 more hours. What? Yeah. Because we're doing different angles. What cameras are we using? What, are we doing this? Are we doing gimbal? Like, all these things.
So
So
is
I
that-
pay attention to all of that.
Is that something that you would want to do?
I would love that.
But
And I have worked behind the cameras in a lot of music videos. People don't know. I've casted girls. I've actually booked women. That's another thing why I finally, I know you're about to say it, because I can feel it. I started Viva Va Entertainment, which is, something that I feel that I've been holding on to so long. And people are like, well, you should just do it with Sally Ferreira. I don't want it to relate so people could be like, oh my God, you're working with Sally Ferreira. No. You're working with Viva Va, which is an entertainment company, which is going to give opportunities to a lot of artists. Initially, even before the name came about, right? Because it took a while. I prayed on it, meditated on it for years. And I actually, in the past, I was booking a lot of performers. A lot of people don't know. And I'm going to start taking credit for what I've done because I feel like I don't. And there's a lot of hip hop that came up to Uptown. I bought that up there. So you see a lot of, the urban, the hip hop and stuff like that in Uptown. I did big parties in Uptown. I booked all the dancers from Umbrella Clubs, from Vintage Club to Talay. I booked dancers up there. I bought things that people are asking for now, and this has been I feel like I have this talent also where I see the future.
Visionary.
Yeah. Like I'm so good at predicting. Not only am I good at listening at sounds and picking things up, but I'm also this futuristic person where
You could see
I
beyond what
I
people
could just
see.
like even when I was a child, I could tell you playing with my brother. I'm talking about like I was like 8 years old. I remember like just in my head we were like playing like with a book, and I will actually in my head, oh, this is a tablet. And
antes de que hubieran tablets.
Before there was
Exactly,
tablets.
yeah.
Sí, viste.
And-
Si ella tuviera la forma de conocer
Yeah.
a Steve Jobs, le había dicho esa vaina, había sido millonaria.
Oye,
Right.
I'm telling you, no, yo entiendo lo que tú dices, como
yeah.
que tú puedes ver el futuro en todas
yeah,
las cosas.
and I have
el
that
desarrollo.
gift when it comes to fashion. I have that gift when it comes to music and an ear and stuff like that.
Entonces tú dices que tú y influenciaste la cultura de hip hop
que subiera para el Alto Manhattan, a los dominicanos.
Right.
Which is something that...
¿Cómo así? Explícame eso.
So, básicamente había mucho racismo, y vamos a ser realístico.
Ajá.
Lo que tiene que ver que los dominicanos party, solo. So, el dominicano diferente de Nueva York, dominicanos que están en la República Dominicana también vamos
Right.
a tener
Sí,
eso,
sí.
you know, ese
En
concepto.
mente, yeah.
You know, pero vi la transformación. Básicamente, I did a party up there, which is on YouTube, and everyone was there. And, you know, and I'm talking about hip hop and Hennessy, and I was one of these people that actually moved as a woman in this male-dominated industry that was actually going around booking dancers and also actually saying like, hey, Hennessy, I'm doing a party. Can you guys like give me like 5 bottles? Para el fantameo, como le digamos los dominicanos.
Sí.
Y ahora tú ves que el Alto Manhattan ahora todo el
Sí.
mundo.
There's
Ahora
an influence of hip hop in Uptown that wasn't there years
wasn't
ago.
there.
Like before was more like Dominican from the island, and
Yeah.
now you see more like the Dominicans embracing the hip hop culture.
por
in the
ejemplo, los
fashion
morenos,
sense.
por ejemplo, los dominicanos le dicen los morenos. Los morenos suben ahora a Alto Manhattan y la pasan súper bien. Eso no se veía antes en ese tiempo. ¿Tú me entiendes?
Sí.
So, yo fui parte de eso. No voy a decir que voy a coger el crédito totalmente, porque
Sí.
habían otra gente
Pero
también.
sí
Pero
you
yo fui
influenced it.
influenced.
Yeah, for
Sí.
sure.
Como ya
Influenciaste,
tenía ese
claro.
título de que,
Sí.
la muchacha que sale en los videos, también I did a lot of hosting. Like, I got to work with a lot of, like, DJ Lobo.
Sí, porque
Like,
ahora
you know, traveled and all that stuff.
esta cosa de, tú sabes, de Battle Girls, and, you know, de que hay bailarinas, hay un show de bailarinas en la
Bueno, ahora lo
discoteca,
quieren.
¿entiendes? O sea, que
Cuando
esto-
yo lo quería poner, no querían ponerlo en
Oh,
ese
no?
sentido.
O
No,
sea,
because I
estoy-
was very futuristic.
I
I
always
said
seen
house
that, like,
music, not anymore. Now they're doing it.
Sí, no, estoy
Look
diciendo
at Bad
que...
Bunny's latest song. It's totally got the house influence.
Pero yo lo dije
Claro que
hace, ¿cuánto
sí.
tiempo lo dije
Baby,
yo?
dime la verdad. There you go.
Hey, lo podemos decir aquí en un live.
Right.
Bad Bunny, you have to
Like,
come to our
DJ
interview. I'm
from
just
DJ
saying, throw it
to
out there.
DJ to-
Hay un cantante ahora mismo que yo estoy escuchando que me encanta. Se
Oh.
llama Flow 28.
Sí.
Oye.
La única droga que alimenta.
Oh, me encanta, porque me encanta también el alfa. Pero él dice como algo que dice, I don't want to get it wrong because that would be so disrespectful.
But he says something.
He says something like los dominicanos con una pinta americana.
Ajá.
¿Tú me entiendes? So, yo digo, like, tú vas a República Dominicana ahora. Like, I've been there. I mean, I go, you know, I've been going there. I just
Tú
got
vas
back there, like,
frecuentemente.
frecuentemente for
Very
business-wise and
Ajá.
everything like that. But not only that, they asked me a question. They were like, why is it that you haven't, like, worked in film out here? And I was like,
That's a good question.
because, you know,
A eso
there's
quería
a lot of
llegar,
things.
a eso quería llegar porque estamos en los
Está
videos.
cambiando.
Sí, pero quiero que
Drásticamente.
lleguemos hasta ahí con tu historia y todo eso. Estamos en los videos musicales, right? Luego, ¿cómo tú llegas a estar en películas y en series? O sea,
Yeah.
¿cómo tú das ese
La
brinco,
transición.
ese salto
Sí.
de
Bueno,
video
hay una
ahí?
persona que le voy a dar mucho crédito que se llama J. Justice Smith, que él hizo la película también. Ha trabajado con muchos artistas, que yo he trabajado también, y él fue también mi acting coach. Una persona que creyó en mí también, y él no se lanzó eventualmente, like the TV series itself, pero él fue que también me dijo a mí, yo, you can act. Because I remember also one of my acting coaches, John Gallagher, I just came in. I told him, I was like, look, I don't got it. Like, I can't even pay. Like, I'd rather use $100, $150 to pay my bill than to go to acting classes. So these are the decisions I had to make.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was very blunt. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, you know what? Just come to my class.
Wow.
And I went, and he was like, okay, well, I need you to do a scene for me. I want you to be dramatic, and then from dramatic, I want you to cry. From crying, I want you to laugh. And I was like,
you did it?
Right.
And you did it?
And I was like, Jim Carrey in the building.
Did you have any acting experience before this?
Yeah.
Or alguna
No,
clase
never,
o cosa?
never.
Nah, but I
Never.
think, Sally's a natural.
Sí, I mean,
Yo,
you
that
know,
ass.
Tú lloras, después revuélcate en el piso, después ríete,
Sí, no,
después
no, no.
Well,
jálate
I
los
say,
moños.
I say she's a natural because I just remember her being dramática con los expressions, but not dramática in a bad way, just but like expressive, like with the
I've
facial
always been so
expressions. You've
expressive.
been so
Yeah.
and like funny as well. I don't know. I just feel like it came natural to you. It's not something that you have to put a lot of effort. You know how some people have to put a lot of effort to do something?
Yeah.
I feel like it just comes natural.
Thank you.
Right. You see?
Entonces,
The voices, the face.
Sí, no, yo
Right.
sé, yo lo he vivido, yo te digo, tengo
The prank
traumatizado.
calls.
Traumatizada.
Exactly.
Gremlin and stuff. and-
Pero entonces, estas personas te ayudaron y te conectaron con gente que estaban haciendo películas y así fue que tú pudiste...
They gave you the acting class, you said, right?
Yeah.
They gave me the acting classes. They believed in me. And I've been on set. I started as background, which I still at times still do.
Like an extra?
Yeah.
Background para la gente que...
No, but they be paying good, right?
They pay really
No,
good.
background
They pay
es
good.
para tú pasarte el día parado ahí atrás,
Sí, pero tú sabes que tú tienes que hacer...
anunciando,
Tú tienes que hacer bien
sin
sabio.
hablar.
Yo, you remind me of
Pero-
those
pero, like a
Chinese
puppet.
movies.
Like
Cuando
they're pulling
sigue
strings and
hablando, pero se terminó el sonido.
Sí. Ahora te voy a botar. Eres un desgraciado.
Tú puedes actuar también.
But what you were saying about the being an extra?
But I just feel like, tú sabes, tú tienes que saber cómo usar tu tiempo, utilizar tu tiempo.
Sí.
Esa es la llave.
Ya.
So, entonces, básicamente, si tú estás en set y tú estás en background, tú sabes que tú vas a estar ahí, vamos a decir, 16, 14 horas. Lo máximo. Ok. Llévate tu computadora. Ponte a trabajar en el teléfono. A tu llamada. You're still making money. You're still
Right.
making calls, you're making appointments, you're making whatever, Eso es lo que tú haces. Ponte a leer un libro, practica tu
Your lines.
talento,
Yeah.
lo que tú tienes que hacer. Coge ese tiempo. Because to be honest with you, that's one thing I'm learning how to do, is not to do nothing.
Sí.
And I asked my friend like a while ago, I said, is there a pamphlet or something that could like help me like do nothing? I actually mentioned that to you. And I think it's important sometimes just to take some time to just kind of like sit with yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, I've been in situations where I was going 100 miles per hour and I end up hurting myself. And we're talking about like even before COVID where, you know, I had a situation where I had surgery. So I was forced to like,
Sit your ass down.
yeah, my ankle was completely like, and I was on set, by the way. So this happened in September. January got
What-
surgery.
What project was?
I was working West Side Story.
Oh, espérate, no me habla de eso. West Side
You
Story.
haven't
With
even
Steven
talked
Spielberg.
about that.
Steven
Steven
es
Spielberg.
el tipo que hizo
Spielberg.
E.T.
See how I
Yo,
forgot
El
that?
tigre es
He's
un monstruo.
hilarious.
Yeah.
You
Es
hear?
Steven
Yeah,
Spielberg.
yeah.
Oye,
Y
Steven-
Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
Wow,
Steven.
Steven Spielberg es un tigre,
Sí,
un monstruo
sí,
ese.
sí.
Tigrazo.
Una barba tiene tipo.
Es un tiguerazo de Hollywood.
Tiene, tú sabes, salt
Sí,
and
tiene
pepper.
barba.
Sí.
Salt and pepper.
No,
Y
tú
lo
vi-
más interesante que se pareció a Spike Lee, which I've worked on with. too,
¿Cómo
as
que
well.
se pareció? a
Se
Spike
pareció a
Lee?
Spike Lee on the set of West Side Story, and I worked with Spike Lee on She Gotta Have It with Fat Joe. I did 2 episodes on
Yo vi
Netflix.
esa movie, sí.
Yeah,
And
me
TV
too.
series. Well, they actually did a TV series.
También,
from
okay,
that.
so she gotta have it.
Yeah,
TV
and I
series
said
and
to
the movie,
myself,
yeah.
I actually met Steven Spielberg. No, not Steven Spielberg. Spike Lee. I met him at a Hennessy event. And when I looked at him. I said, "We're gonna work." And he said,
Nice.
"Okay."
Nice.
We took a picture together, and
Love
next thing you
it.
know, a year passed, and we're actually
you
working
worked.
on
Yo
set.
te veo
Yeah.
a ti en Avatar 4, porque es que tú tienes como el la
Right,
forma de esa.
right.
Oye, nada más tienes que darte un tinte azul,
Mentira.
oye.
Es un Ike Jim Carrey avatar.
Sí.
No, yo la veo a ella en comedies, man.
Wow.
I love comedy.
En comedia.
Yo, en
Sí.
¿Qué
comedia.
tú quieras? Porque nosotros estamos aquí diciéndole
Pero
la
I
carrera
met
de
the
ella, pero no
comedy.
le hemos preguntado
No, pero
qué
yo le voy a
ella quiere
dar.
hacer.
Right.
My friend actually dared me. He goes, I have like, there's this little spot, what is like a little comedy thing like around his way, and he was like, I dare you to go up there and do something. I said, you know what, bet, let's do it.
Well, you know what I think you
I don't know
should-
what I'm gonna talk
well,
about,
This is what I
but-
think you should
stand
do.
up.
I think
For sure.
every
I
time
wanna
you
be there.
tell a funny ass story, deberías tomar notas
I know she told me that before.
Sí.
de la
doing
historia.
that.
Así cuando ella se presenta al frente de la gente, ella nada más va a hablar de la historia.
Claro,
Y que, wait a minute, I gotta look at my notebook.
Oye, con esta vaina de la inteligencia artificial, tú te grabas y después tú you feed that,
Ay, eso sería
y te lo
chévere.
escribe, todo lo que tú hablaste.
Eso sería chévere.
Y no-
Yeah,
lo que-
I've been practicing with that.
Sí,
y que
tú sabes que esa vaina
píntame esto.
de stand-up, eso está caminando y
Well,
es
the show,
interesante.
the
so
show
you
Miss
should do
Maisel
something.
has to do with. I remember I shared
Sí.
that with
Yeah.
you. It's from 50s and stuff like
The
that. And
50s.
she actually, around that time, it was tough for women.
Sí.
Women at home.
Claro.
I'm not going to use the word enslaved, but they were actually, you have to take care of the children, you have to cook.
Claro,
you have to do
diferentes
this. It was
tiempos.
different.
Society
diferentes
was.
tiempos. Estamos probando ese formato. a ver qué
And let
tal.
me tell you,
Funcionó un poco, pero no tanto como.
what women had to wear under the garments was insane.
Sí, medio fondo. Era
Medio
como-
fondo,
It was a lot.
a
Si se armaba un
padding,
fuego,
it
había
was-
problemas.
Ay.
Tú te prendes como un fósforo. Y una vez, puff. Y eres todo el spray en la cabeza. Pero sí, that to me is like that when I would see her doing, and I was like, wow, that's freaking dope.
Pero que eso es lo que tú estabas haciendo por años. Lo que pasa es que tú no te has dedicado a organizar
No me he dedicado
una
a eso.
rutina
Exacto.
de todas las historias que tú te sabes.
Right, because
So, ya-
if you talk to Sally, you're
If
gonna
you know
laugh
Sally,
multiple
yeah.
times in that conversation. Not once, but multiple.
Sí, hemos estado ahí.
Like, she's really, really just naturally
Y
funny.
eso viene de su familia, porque tú sabes, su papá.
El papá, yeah,
Sí,
he
su
was
papá.
yo.
People don't know,
Chipa.
but my papi's name Chipa.
Pero vamos a enfocarnos en la entrevistada. ¿Tú conoces a alguna
Right.
gente? Yo no conozco, o sea...
Pero esta pregunta está bien chula.
No, pero-
a mí nunca me han hecho preguntas así, déjame decirte.
No, porque
¿Por qué lo
estamos,
que digo?
estamos llegando ahí a la vaina como persona, porque tú entiendes, como persona.
Eso
Como
es-
yo no conozco más gente que son actores, o sea, yo conozco así de saludarlo, pero que son de que panas míos y eso.
Sí.
Entonces tú eres una de las personas especiales alrededor de uno que tú has podido estar en movies como Sex and the City, vaina así.
Sí.
¿Cómo fue esa experiencia?
Lo
Yo
mismo.
estaba criticando esa vaina. La gente que te pregunta, ¿cómo fue esa experiencia de trabajar
¿Cómo
en Sex and the
fue?
City? Y vengo y le pregunto la misma vaina. ¿Cómo fue esa experiencia de trabajar en Sex and the City?
Mira, yo me puedo chequear.
El diablo, media hora después.
Oye, pero ese fue para el campo, para el Cibao, se fue para mi gente allá. Dame unos tajos de aguacate.
No.
Con el sancocho ahí.
Ay.
Oye, ¿cómo
la
te
experiencia.
digo? ¿Cómo llegué a eso? Fue una
Sí.
audición y me eligieron, me llamaron. Último momento,
Sí.
aparecí ahí.
Ok.
Y el director quedó encantado conmigo, me dio una escena a lo último. Dice a mí, ¿tú te pareces a una de las mujeres que son de la 4? Y yo,
Oh, you was one of the 4?
yeah. So
Yo!
it was the ending
Viste.
scene.
That's wild.
I didn't know I came out. People called me like, yo, you came out in the movie. I was like, for real?
But how they was able to tell it was you?
Because, I mean, you could see my face. I'm walking by, literally, like one of they're paneling out. Look, I'm using like director's voices. I'm like paneling
I love
out,
it.
pulling out.
I'm
Futura
geeking out.
directora.
I'm
Oíste.
geeking
Yeah, so they did that, and then next thing you know, the shots, and then I'm walking by, and I was like, oh, and then people called me, and they were like, oh my God, you came, and I was like, oh, I can do this.
Aw.
So it's always been like, I could do that.
You can do it.
How did that, my chin? Okay.
Señores,
Um,
estamos hablando con Sally Ferreira, actriz, entrepreneur, cantante, artista, poeta, stand-up
Poeta.
comediante,
Pintora.
pintora, muchas cosas que no, en
Activista.
serio, you do a lot of things, you realize that, right?
I know.
Y todas las hace bien,
Right.
hasta lo que nosotros conocemos.
Right.
¿Cuál ha sido tu logro más grande, tú crees, hasta ahora, que en lo que va? Porque la cosa es que la carrera sigue rodando.
biggest
Ahora es que
achievement.
vienen vainas duras.
Lo que yo he logrado humanamente es seguir, ¿cómo te digo? I'm going to say it in English.
Dale. Ay,
I've established, ¿cómo te digo? There's a word, but there's not a word for it.
right.
I've been able to be myself
Mm.
all along and still continue to be myself. And I think that's the best goal. Like, that's the best thing ever. You know what I'm saying? And there you go. There was a voice. I heard that voice. Not lose yourself.
Yeah, porque mira, yo he oído muchas
And I
historias.
have lost myself in the industry itself. There's been times where, tú te pones nada más, tácate, and you lose focus of who you really are and what was the really purpose of you even doing it from the beginning.
Well, how do you get to that? How do you get to lose yourself? Like, what was the lowest point?
The lowest point is when you are taken advantage of in the industry, and this is what I want a lot of young women to understand, a lot of young men as well. You're coming into a world where people are not as friendly as you think they are. That people are not there to hand you things over as well. And also there's a lot of sacrifices that have to be made.
Like the sacrifice part, sometimes people don't realize how much
you can't be there for your family all the time in events. You miss out from events, from there with your gatherings and stuff like that. There was times, like when I was in Nuestra Belleza Latina for Univision twice, I was around 75 women competing with each other, and I'm not competing against them, but they don't see it like that. And that's okay, because if you understand that you cannot live your life expecting other people to react the way you would react. You get what I'm saying? Like, quítate eso de la mente.
¿En qué año tú estuviste en Nuestra Belleza Latina?
En el 2008 también. Salgo de Nuestra Belleza Latina en 2008. Regreso a los videos musicales, al modelaje, comerciales, a campaigns and stuff like that. Estoy trabajando también performing, dancing, de noche, nightclubs and all this stuff. Después regreso a Nuestra Belleza Latina. De nuevo.
Y o sea, la primera vez que pasó que no funcionó.
Bueno, mi español no estaba muy bueno.
Oh, no very good looking, my friend.
No very good looking. Les podía leer muy bien, pero no podía hablar.
Pero ahora tu español
ha mejorado muchísimo.
No, pues claro,
me
imagino.
Tengo que practicar.
No, yo tengo vergüenza hablar.
¿Es de verdad? Te salió los cibaeños. Aún te sancochos. Pues sí, básicamente...
la primera vez no tenía el léxico, no tenía el desenvolvimiento.
No tenía, sí.
Y luego te dieron...
el lenguaje era una barrera.
Exacto. También entré con una expectativa que básicamente, bueno, yo sé bailar, yo soy tan talentosa, y lo otro, el ego.
Sí.
Entonces hay que entender eso también, porque
bueno,
somos humanos.
Es bueno que chocara con el ego, porque... Eso no hay nadie que te lo enseñe, man.
No, pero es importante.
We have to, like, face
para que te humilles.
Sí, you have to face it. You have to face your own
Yo pienso
ego.
que es para que uno sea nacido de nuevo en una forma que uno va a vivir su vida de un punto de amor.
Claro,
y no del ego.
De soberbia. Tú vienes de un punto
pero
de amor. Pero
you know what? I love that you said that. Before we go to that timeline, I feel like me personally, I feel like I've been born a couple of times.
Yeah.
In this lifetime.
Yeah, like a phoenix.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel the same.
So, and that's breaking, I feel that, I mean, I'm glad that you guys relate to that.
100%.
Yes, because there's a lot of things that you think.
You let go.
You get to a place in your life when you think, okay, I'm good. And then something happens that transforms you.
Yeah, you don't react.
You're like, okay, now I'm good.
Right.
And then something else happens. And you're like,
yeah, it's like layers.
And it's so funny when those things happen, you be like, yo, I'm never going to go back to that part like that where I was.
Right.
But then something happens, right? And you find yourself.
You're like, I thought I knew it all.
Right.
And then you yourself realize something that is what happened, in a way that you were talking about. You realize, okay, so this is how I am.
Yes. I feel like, there's I had an interview in Dominican Republic. Then they asked me, they were like, oh my God, you didn't do Playboy? And I was like, no, I didn't. I didn't show my boobs or my bush. I just need to throw that there.
So, you were offered to do Playboy?
I was actually...
Porque esto es lo que te estoy hablando en cuanto a cuando estoy hablando contigo.
Sí.
Tú tiras como tú tiras las cosas así como... No, porque estaba así, entonces me ofrecieron Playboy, yo seguí por ahí.
Como si
¿Te ofrecieron qué?
Espérate. Let's go back.
Right, like,
let's magnify that part right there.
Let's magnify that one big. I still have the letters at home. I have 2 letters that I received from them, 2 different offers. They actually wanted to move me to the mansion. to be a
With Hefner?
Yeah, to be a Playboy bunny. Pero ella contenta, si ella me ve a mí allá, todas las boobies del mundo.
Yo, bunny.
Look at she be like, Sally, you better go now. I'm coming over, I'm getting on that plane right now.
Tú por poco ibas a
I'm going
estar
to visit
ahí.
my friend real
Mira
quick.
que
¿Y estaba vivo el tipo en ese tiempo?
Claro.
Oye,
Entonces, tú sabes que yo me puse a pensar, yo dije, pero en verdad no es Dominican Bunny.
No.
En ese tiempo yo no
nunca
creo que
habido,
había.
Yo no creo.
Que sepa yo.
No, yo
Right.
todavía.
¿Tú me
Al
entiendes?
día de hoy todavía nadie ha dicho
Yo creo
nada.
que ahora Cardi
Pefita
B.
quizá
Cardi
fue la
B.
primera, no sé.
Las conejitas malas. Pero sí, me lo ofrecieron 2 veces. Pero yo te digo, lo mismo es regresar también a lo que es los morales. Pero yo creo que lo más importante es siempre regresar a ti.
Sí. No
¿Tú
perderte
me entiendes? No
en el
llevarte
journey.
por lo como la ola.
Sí.
¿Tú me entiendes? Sino,
Right.
you know, go back to yourself.
Your
like,
core
go
values.
check yourself. Not even, it's your core values, but go back to you. Like, what you really want to do. Are you really
Okay.
doing this because it's a trend right now? Are you doing this because you need you're trying to fill a void? Because a lot of voids, people think that are filled only with drugs and with clubbing or indulging in negativity or indulging in other stuff, but in reality, like, you know, what are you doing to fill that void? And so I'm very mindful now at this age in my life that I'm saying, okay, if I'm acting a certain way and I know that that's not who I am, I'm gonna check myself. You know, I'm gonna have a moment. You know, a lot of people go through the depression. I've been there. I know what it is to be depressed as well. And I remember you had mentioned that before. I'm sure you've been through that as well. But, you know, one thing that I felt that has kept me stable is going back to that, my faith in God. You know, having that faith in God and that upbringing, going back to like, okay, the things that I learned in church, that I pray, that my parents applied to in my life. Nobody told me that God existed. I always, since I was a little girl, always seek that. You know, so, and I've actually told my parents, take me to church because I want to go. I want to learn. So I feel like because of that, what you're saying, going back to core, right, has, like, I have no regrets as well in the career wise. It was a lot of easy ways. I could have been in Dubai right now. I could have had a mansion right now. Yeah, I could have been in Playboy Mansion, but what would have happened there?
Do you not take things because of that? Like, would you offer
Because it was
things?
a
I mean,
true
now I'm
to
a
you?
Playboy bunny.
Hey.
By the way, like, but things have changed where it's not the same where he was there at that point. You know, there was a point where I did Smooth Magazine. You know, Smooth Magazine was one of the biggest, you know, urban magazines, every video vixen and so on and so on. And when I did that, I was blessed with actually, was it 7 or 8 page spread and
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and none of them were, you know, mira todo. It was more about like, you know, there was so, you know, is to this day, but I was still so embarrassed after they came out. I had so much fun doing it, but then going back to what you were sharing, I was afraid that my dad was gonna see it.
That fear.
So he heard about it and people at his job, and then I heard that people were incarcerated actually had posters of me on their walls.
Oh, wow.
And then I heard, like, you know, you hear rumors and stuff. So I was embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, papi, baba, y esto. Yo me recuerdo que I was with my parents. And I remember, like, literally having, like, they mailed it to my house. And I had it, like, in my closet, hidden. And I remember Dad was like, oh, yo escuché que hay una revista de ti por ahí.
De verdad.
Y yo,
no,
mira el
me
corazón.
Muero.
Ay, ay, ay.
Like, oye.
El diandre, yo
Like,
conociendo
right
a
here.
Chipa.
Tú conocí a Chipa.
Espérate.
Chipa, me estoy mojando.
Yo, I'm having a blast here.
That's another story.
And I want to keep on, like, with the shits. But I got to go.
Oh.
Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, I got ladies' night.
Oh my God,
yes,
say
she
bye to
does.
I'm DJing tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell the people where you're gonna be so they could,
Yeah,
you know,
like, take
tell
that
them.
shot.
Yo,
to them.
come check me every single day. I got something going on. Cheers. Salud.
Where can we follow you?
At DJ Verseti. That's VERSETI.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hello,
Right.
Yay.
everybody.
Ow.
Hey,
yo,
Listen, continue conquering, my sister. You are so talented. God
Love
is
you.
using you in amazing ways. You are a beautiful soul. We're so blessed to know you and have you in our lives. I love you and I wish you all the best, that you are going to succeed in this life, because truly you deserve it. Everything and the world in it.
I love you.
Aneldi?
Hey,
Aneldi, continue to conquer, my brother.
thank you.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of,
No, we're gonna
you know,
keep
just
doing
being here with you guys, like
It's
kicking
amazing.
it. It was
great.
cool,
Great
yo.
energy.
Cool
We
vibes, great
appreciate it.
energy.
Yes.
I love
Continue
her.
to
We gotta do it
conquer.
again.
Yo, muchas bendiciones.
See, we're gonna collaborate too. We're gonna do some music.
Yo, we're gonna do
from
some
DJ to
dope.
DJ,
Yo, we're
you
gonna do
see.
some dope. I ain't
Yeah.
Yo, I
gonna talk
just
about it.
feel
We're gonna do
it,
some
like-
dope
Hay una
stuff.
fogata en el medio aquí.
Right,
Yes,
right.
yes.
But listen, yo, continue to conquer, y'all.
Aight.
Worldwide fam, pay attention to Sally. I'm telling y'all, pay attention to Sally. And I know D too. I know y'all be listening to him.
DJ Chucky.
Peace, y'all.
Oh, be safe,
Love
be
you.
safe.
Love you too.
Wow.
Hit you
My
up.
God.
Bueno, yo me voy a sentar allí entonces porque...
Teacher. Thank you. So, ¿cómo funcionaría esto? O sea, ¿cómo funcionaría este sistema que
How do
tú
we make
tienes?
money doing that?
Exacto. ¿Cómo tú lo haces una comunidad? ¿Cómo,
Yeah.
o sea, o todavía tú
This
no has
is
llegado
why,
ahí?
that's why I started the company, because for so many years, I've always been the glue, like Drake says. But I've never, ever made money from it.
No, good.
Not good.
No.
That's not being a businesswoman.
Porque el tiempo pasa y pasa.
Exacto.
Hay que organizarse.
So, esa es la palabra, organizarte. Es básicamente do this whole self-reflection and sit down and say, okay, ¿qué es lo que yo quiero hacer?
Sí.
While I'm pursuing my acting career, because my acting career is something that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid.
¿Cómo va eso de tu acting career?
Oh my God.
O sea,
It's-
porque hemos hablado de todos tus diferentes tiempos como bailarina de video,
Sí.
como actriz de video, como extra, después como personaje, como en varias series, películas. O sea, a este momento, cómo tú ves tu carrera como actriz o como bailarina? O sea, ¿qué es, para dónde que va tu carrera? Según tú.
Según yo,
Sí.
es el esfuerzo, esperando la oportunidad indicada. Yo sé que está ahí mismo en la puerta. Like, I just feel it. I know it's coming. Like, it's just this feeling. And so far, I have a couple of agents that are actually looking at my extended resume and seeing what I could bring to the table that actually want to work with me. I was just on set, and I don't even know if I could go too much in details in this, but I was in the set for The Penguin. So that was fun.
That's great.
And that itself motivated me because I would see myself playing a role. So anybody out there who's actually wants a Catwoman, just call me because I am interested.
Oye, ¿qué fue?
Because you know what? We just had Supergirl, a Latina,
Sí.
who I actually, for the first time, shout out to Sasha Calle. Because honestly, like, I don't even want to cry about it, but I got so emotional. I saw her audition, like, not her audition, I saw when she was speaking and then she got the role, and that, like, yo hablando de eso ahora mismo gives me goosebumps because it's like finally a Latina
Sí.
who has dark eyes like me, who has dark hair like me, who has short hair, even though this is fake, you know what I'm saying? But it's mine, but I bought it. But we won't get into that. But that look itself that I've been fighting so hard because Latinos are portrayed to carry, you know, this long hair and be voluptuous and be certain ways. Like, you know, we don't see surpass that. And if there is Latinas out there that I recognize are usually blondes with blue eyes. Not that I'm discriminating, I think they're gorgeous, right? I think all women are gorgeous and it doesn't matter what color they are, right?
Yeah.
But when I saw her and she was that role itself, I identify with her. And I even identify with her because I went to her Instagram. And I saw the way that she carried herself. And I was like, oh my God, I relate to her. Like, I really feel like I could sit down and have a conversation with her. Yeah. And I love what she's, you know, what she portrays and the way she carries herself. So congratulations to her. Yay.
So you think in the future we can see you as a one of
Catwoman
superhero or Marvel one of
yes, I would love that.
So she was saying that you could do comedy. Like, what do you see yourself playing? Like, I know that you like drama and you have a range, as an actress.
Yeah.
You took.
I love drama. I love horror movies. I am
Scream,
obsessed.
One of those.
No, see, this is the thing. There's a difference. There's horror movies that are like with ghosts and stuff like that and spiritual stuff. I could handle that before bed. But if you're going to give me like horror but like gruesome stuff or guts and stuff like that, don't talk to me. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now, if we're talking about comedy, then we're talking about Jim Carrey, who is my hero. Right. And not only that, like, look at his path.
Yeah.
If one thing of that my coach John Gallagher, he mentioned to me, he said, you're going to be successful is because you're able to actually do drama and comedy. So when he said that, I was like, oh my God, Jim Carrey, like, because Jim Carrey could do comedy and drama as well. And as an actor, like, if you're able to do both, you're good.
What is one of those classes like? What do they teach you? Like, for us that we never took a class in our lives.
Oh man,
you've had many different acting coaches. Like, what is one of the classes like, or an exercise that is interesting?
An exercise would be basically, which I love, which is my favorite, is improvising.
Sí, porque escúchame que te interrumpa, porque yo nada más he visto lo de las novelas mexicanas.
Yo he estado en una novela también. Yo he estado en una novela.
Es diciendo dos personas frente a uno a la otro lo mismo que tú estás diciendo. Por ejemplo, yo tengo calor y tú me dices, tú tienes calor. Y después yo digo, yo tengo calor. Mirándonos a los ojos, tú tienes calor. Yo
tengo calor, pero tú tienes calor. Like,
o sea, ¿cómo es para los americanos? ¿Cómo es la vaina?
Para los americanos no es tan... Entonces... Yo tengo una amiga también mía que estudió en México, varias amigas mías que estudió en la actuación en México. Es diferente que la actuación aquí en los Estados Unidos. ¿Tú me entiendes? They don't want that either. One thing that I've learned too, that I've been in acting classes, they have told me to actually like try to not be so expressive. And I don't know if maybe it's because it's my DNA or it's because I'm Latina, like that it's in my blood that I can't control it while I'm talking to you right now. But
Sofía Vergara, todo eso es una vaina.
I love her.
Sofía Vergara is the...
And she's a hottie, and then she's funny. Like, I mean, come on.
Y habla como yo, así. You don't talk to me, Like,
don't talk to me.
Tengo
and you don't make me no coffee.
No te preocupes.
Yeah, like, I just, that itself, but
Una
I feel...
serie de esas, porque ahora mismo hay tantos streaming services, hay tantas series.
But I feel like we're breaking barriers.
Yo creo que ellos estornudan y salen 10 series nuevas, muchachas, porque yo he visto cada día series nuevas. O sea, tanto trabajo y tantas oportunidades. Se está abriendo más la plaza para los latinos y personas como tú y eso.
Claro. O sea, but I mean, estábamos hablando ahora mismo de Sasha Calle, who actually plays a superhero.
Sí.
Se están rompiendo.
Yeah.
So, para mí yo digo que hay una controversia ahora mismo que básicamente lo de Cleopatra. Que, black and...
The Bridgerton.
Y también encima de eso,
Sí,
yo digo...
Pero tú sabes que son libertades creativas que se toman los
Exacto,
escritores.
yo lo veo así, yo no lo veo por ejemplo...
Ahora la gente habla de lo que sea.
Pero entonces, por ejemplo...
coge lo que sea.
Pero la actriz que hizo Marilyn Monroe es también latina.
Ajá.
Me encantó lo que ella the way she played her role, I loved it. I forgot that she was Latina.
Portray Nina Simone.
Exactly.
Y ella es, o sea, lo que...
Exactly. Para mí, si tú lo puedes hacer, vamos a olvidarlo de color. And that's the thing. We always go back to, el color.
Ahora, el tipo que hizo Cantinflas no le quedó bien, ¿no?
Oye, pero eso sería chulo, un remake de Cantinflas otra vez en este tiempo.
Sí, pero con un mexicano. Órale, cabrones. Lo
estoy pensando. Si fuera dominicano, Cantinflas.
El chamaco que hizo de Cantinflas en la película es muy buen actor. Muy buen actor. Excelente actor.
Damn, you took me back to like Don Pollillo times.
Don Pollillo.
Do you remember that? That was my favorite before I went to bed.
Topollillo tenía la voz de un viejo, pero era un niño. ¿Tú te acuerdas de Topollillo?
Claro.
Dormía toda la noche con Topollillo.
Sí, yo le dije, mami, ¿dónde Topollillo no va a poner en la televisión?
Sí.
Yeah. I love Don Polillo.
Topollillo.
But that's good TV. You know, when you, in that time, you would actually like say, a las 8 va a comenzar una película. Y tú sabías que ya comenzó a las 8. And you miss 5 minutes. You're like, cónchale, tengo que verla de nuevo. Like, that's the way we grew up.
Y en los anuncios tú salías huyendo a comprar el soda y refresco y vaina y papita para llegar antes que se acabaran los anuncios para ver a Marimar.
En mi rollerblades.
Ay,
yo no me...
Marimar, tú te comprabas un sándwich de jamón y queso, oye, y te sentabas a ver a Marimar, y ahí mismo tú quedabas por la noche entera, y después salía Bienvenidos.
Yo creo que fue hoy.
Y se divertirán, chan, chan, chan. Un toque de queda los jueves.
No, tú no vas a salir para tu cama, en tu cama. Oye, si uno podía regresar los tiempos de antes.
Ey, son bonitos.
Con la sabiduría que uno sabe ahora. Like, con the knowledge. ¿Qué tú harías diferente?
No, yo acabaría con el mundo. Yo no puedo.
Yo también, yo no puedo conmigo mismo.
Por eso que Dios no nos deja, porque vamos a acabar.
Por eso mismo yo digo, oye, mira, con la sabiduría que yo sé, la cosa que yo sé, mira. Ay, le digo, mira, paco una mochila y digo, mira, mami, yo me voy ahora mismo, a los 8 añitos, mira, para acá me voy. ¿Cómo, mija? Tú no te vas para ninguna parte. Me voy. No, pero ahora mismo, para decirte la verdad, he aprendido a lo que tiene que ver el balance. Es bonito tener mucho talento y ser muy buena en muchísimas cosas, pero también yo soy humana, right? Of course, a spirit having a human experience, but understanding that is also understanding like I have to focus. Right now, I've brought it down to 2 things. It's my acting career, and it's pushing this company. Because as much as I am catering to my needs, which is my career, right, which I love, I also feel that there's a purpose on this earth that we should serve. And my way of serving is actually helping others. If I see a talent and I believe in that talent and I see something, I am going to speak to my team and say, hey, I see talent in that. Let's contact wardrobe. Let's do a video of this person and let's do a photo shoot. I'm advising, I'm getting that connected and, you know, using my relationships, and we're going to make it happen. I'm not going to be as involved as I was before. Why? Because I also understand that there's a balance and I have to focus on what I have to practice, which is my career, my acting career, which I truly believe in. And eventually I will be, you know, in these big, you know, leading roles, which I do see myself.
Right.
So I've established that. I've come to terms that that's what I want to do.
So working on your acting career, but also open to people that want to collaborate with in what you bring to the table.
And everything else, I just feel like it's extra. You know, there's one thing that a lot of people have been telling me that like, oh my God, you know, my paintings and, you know, I'm going to get a display in galleries and stuff like that. But I just feel like that's a moment for me just to kind of be like with myself.
Whoa. People don't know about this. You see, you're bringing more information to the table. I'm telling you, we're going to be here at 6 in the morning. Pero tú, entonces, you're a painter.
So a lot of people don't know one thing that I want to share, right? Because you said, let's brag about it, right? So we're going to brag about it. So at a very early age in school, a lot of teachers actually gravitated to me as a child because I draw and painted at a very early age. I was able to visualize things and put it in paper, right? And one of my paintings was actually displayed in the MTA bus in New York City, all over the borough, and also in the transit. I was awarded for that. I was taken to dinners for that at a very early age. I don't know what was going on. I was just painting. So, and this is something that comes from, you know, both sides of my family. They're talented. It's in my DNA. You know, my mother's side, they're dancers, they're singers, they play instruments. My father's side would say they're very charismatic. You know, my dad, they're talented in the sense of like they pick up anything and they're able to like we defend ourselves. And so I think that both of that merging together. So out of, you know, my aunt from my dad's side of the family, actually, Sally Ferreira is a recognized artist in Dominican Republic. And people don't know that. So my aunt creates dresses from wires. Also, I was very, my dad also is part of that motivation. My dad, worked in a factory when he came to this country. So there was times that nobody could take care of me, so I would go to work with him. And I remember my dad would work 2 machines. I'm talking about this machine this side and this machine this side, and with a happy face. Everybody knew him because I learned that from my dad. You say hi to everybody when you come into a room, and I think that's the beautiful thing because I still do that, So he would bring his breakfast and his lunch for us, and he would put it on top of the heater to keep it warm, right? We're talking about like factory times, and he's there like cogiendo forro y esto, los pantalones, los jeans y esto y lo otro. And I would bring my paper and my pencil with me, and I would start drawing because I wanted to be a fashion designer at one point.
Yeah.
Right? So I would draw and stuff like that. And he would look at my drawing, like he'll take a glimpse of it, and he's like, and then he'll continue to work. And then if there was extra fabric, he would actually design what I designed on the paper.
Nice.
So and then I will apply that to my Barbie dolls at home.
Wow.
Which is funny, Barbie's out this week.
Yeah, coming soon. I mean, Pink is in.
So it's funny. So I will create my own worlds. My dad would, and I was like, oh my God, I'll do a fashion show, and this girl needs his hair and this and that and stuff like that. So I've always been an artist.
So now, I mean, how long have you been painting, like your paintings that you have for display, that they're going to be on display in this gallery?
So I'm working on a piece that I've been working for over 3 years. It's like 48 by 45. It's big.
Whoa. Do you have like do you do it at home, or you have a place?
I have it at home.
Ooh, okay.
So and then I have. There are 9 pieces, which is interesting because 9, my month, date of birth, 19, like everything has significance to me. Numbers, it's like the language of God. So then I have 2 canvases, which I've looked at them, but it's just like that big, at times I want to go finish it, and I'm like, I'm rushing it. And, you can't put a price on that. I've showed glimpse to certain people that are in that industry, and they're like, oh, what? That's their reaction to it. And I'm like, I don't see it that way because I don't see anything that I like that way. And you know that.
Yeah.
But and I was like, you know what? I think I should. So now I have options, which is a beautiful thing. Nice. So whenever I'm ready to display this, which is going to happen soon within a month or 2, it's going to be displayed. But also I want to be smart of how I display it, because I also want to be able to influence the youth.
Yes.
To get back to that itself, and not be so much on our phones and our tablets and which is not a bad thing, but also there's a balance. But getting back to that creativity and stuff like that.
What would you tell a young girl trying to get into,
I feel like there's so many followers and everybody's doing the same thing because it's a trend. There's talent out there, but I just feel like it's been so manipulated and so sexualized that, like, once again, I love showing off the body. I think it's a beautiful thing. It's an art of, it's artwork and stuff like that. But I just feel like we have so much more to offer as women now in this time in our life, that we should be an example, and that there's no more to say. It's be different. And being different is that you're being an outcast, and it's okay to be an outcast.
So you're not in favor of having like an OnlyFans account and stuff like that?
I thought about it. I thought about it, but I'm going to be honest with you. When I saw the direction that it was going, because I saw a lot of desperation, I saw a lot of women that actually did that and are living in regret. And there's women that have done it where actually they're like, you know what, this is what I really wanted to do. And I applaud them, because you know what, that's their niche. Excuse me, that's what they want to do. Why would I pass judgment if they're okay? Who am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's doing what she loves. But I feel like there's more than only fans. I feel like if you scroll on your TikTok and your Instagram, you're going to see the same thing over and over again. And I'm at this point in my life where I don't know if it's because of maturity of the age that I am, but I'm bored. It's like it's the same thing over and over again, and you could not feel, but you could see the ego, el tira. One of the things that made me very sad when I went to Dominican Republic was that las mujeres se tiran mucho. Una competencia. Es muy raro que una mujer le diga a una mujer, oh, tú te ves bien. Muy raro. ¿Tú me entiendes? Entonces, hay muchas mujeres que dicen que lo hacen por los hombres, pero en verdad lo hacen por las mujeres. ¿Tú me entiendes? And you could feel that has transition, that has come here to you see the bottle service of women and stuff like that. I'm not a follower. I'm more of a leader.
Right.
That's who I define myself as, and that's who I want to continue to be. I want to be an example. I want to be able to leave a stamp on this earth before I leave.
Por eso quería hablar contigo, porque te encuentro, o sea, para mí eres una persona muy interesante y las cosas que tú has hecho y que haces y que vas a hacer todavía siguen siendo interesantes. A mí me llama mucho la atención cómo tú te puedes reinventar en cada temporada. Yo te he visto en varias temporadas, en diferentes cosas, en diferentes colores, diferentes estaciones, pero aún mantienes todavía tu persona, quien tú siempre has sido, y eso para mí es bien importante.
Oh, thank you.
Y por eso quería tener una conversación contigo. Quizás es necesario que tengamos otra, porque hay muchas cosas que no hablamos, nos fuimos muy serios en esta, pero...
es bonito,
quería empezar por ahí y tener esta conversación contigo y creo que hemos aprendido mucho de ti y creo
Gracias.
que ahora te apreciamos más como persona y como artista y todo lo que tú haces, actriz y todo eso. No hemos hablado ni siquiera que hemos estado trabajando en la música y que tú también...
No, pero que lo dejamos último.
Incursionas como cantante, o sea, tú
sí,
tienes
eso es algo
también,
que...
son cosas que están pasando.
Pero que eso es lo que estaba hablando yo, lo estaba comentando con alguien en el teléfono ayer. Yo dije, es bonito la música y tengo un buen oído. You know that, because I've been in the studio with you. Pero cuando tiene que ver con tanta cabeza, like, that messes with you.
Sí.
Like, why does it have to be like that? But
no, es que ¿cómo te digo? También cuando te das cuenta cómo funciona este mundo o este negocio de la música, que no es como que tú vas a hacer una canción que te dura y la vas a pegar, no, esto es un negocio y si tú no tienes...
Es muy raro que tú la pegues
así. Si tú no tienes
así
para invertir, mejor, sigue grabando para tus amigos.
Y hay gente que siguen grabando así y...
Sí, no, porque hay cosas que tú, o sea, hay música que tú haces solamente por gusto personal y hay otra música que tú la haces para el negocio, pero el negocio, tú sabes, hay que tiene los huevos pesados. Para que tú me traigas, señores, Sally Ferreira, ¿dónde puede la gente seguirte?
I am Sally Ferreira.
I am Sally Ferreira en
Instagram, pero también el website que es sallyferreira.world.
Ahí lo pueden ver en la pantalla.
También ahí está el link en Instagram. Cuando presionan el link,
dale,
la cámara está para acá.
Sí.
Allá, le presiona el link. Ahí está todo. IBM, ahí está el backstage, ahí está el home site. Sí, no le he puesto el Playboy ahí todavía.
Mira
los ojos, vaina. Dios mío.
No, una grande.
Sí, grande, demasiado grande.
Ahí pueden ver fotos de Sally. Qué bien te quedó esa vaina. Yo lo voy a poner aquí en el video. Es más, yo voy a agarrar 1500 fotos de Sally y voy a hacer una introducción.
Son muchas. Ay, Dios.
Señores, en esta noche tenemos una entrevista a YouTube.
Oh, my God. Let me ask you a question before you finish.
Cantante.
Before you finish, you ever thought about having your own talk show?
Well,
but literally like can we go over there to the couch? Like I want to show up. Like
good things are coming this summer.
I'm into that.
Good things are coming this summer.
I'm gonna be in the back like.
Mira, la gente que está viendo no ha visto el otro set. ¿Entiendes? Nada más han visto este pedacito aquí. Vienen muchas cosas buenas este verano. Pero viene una vaina así. Para que goce.
Pero mira.
Sí.
Ustedes no ven la fogata en el medio.
Gracias por estar aquí con nosotros.
Gracias por tenerme.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I love you too. I'm going to have another drink and good night. Good afternoon or good evening.
Vasito vacío, pero